Folks, welcome to episode 45 of Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans for the fans. And with me, I have my main man, Cactus from XGW.
What's good, people?
We are going to talk about the final roster reveal for WWE2K17. But first, there's a couple things that I got. If you are watching live, please make sure that you hit that like button and leave a comment down below. Also, make sure you follow the new Twitter handle for us, which I will put up on the screen right now, which is at EPW Podcast on Twitter. Looking to have some more followers, and we are on the road to getting 100 subscribers. So we are at 60 right now. We need 40 more people just to hit that subscribe button. So help a brother out. I'm trying to get paid. I'm going to be honest with you. Trying to get paid. But let's get into what we all want to talk about here, which is the roster for WWE 2K17. Cactus, I want your overall thoughts and feelings on the roster this year with how 2K handled it.
Overall, I have to say I've been excited for probably like the most I've ever been for a roster in a long while. If you haven't put together the 2 and 2 math for how 2K does it, is basically you put out the game, DLC, and then for the next game you take that and you stick it on the disc. I think that's pretty cool because I'm the type who wants a bigger roster every year. Even if you give me, like 121 year and then the next year is 130 on disc, I'm cool. I like the way that they did it this year as far as the advertisement. Like, they've been pretty much on key, on target, like really cool with the way they've done it, opposed to just, even though I would like the entrance to the ring, everybody do a signature, do a finisher back in the day like they used to. But this was actually pretty cool. I've got no real complaints about the roster. That itch has been scratched. I mean, because they've already proven what they're basically going to do is take the DLC from the previous game and stick it on disc and give you some new DLC, hopefully. So that's pretty much the 2K math. So I'm pretty cool with it. I'm excited. The only person that I didn't see was X-Pac. Maybe he'll be DLC because it's really kind of pointless. Like, we've been asking for Road Dogg for the last 2 games. It's like, oh, now you finally put Road Dogg in, but now there's no X-Pac, and now I can't do a whole click storyline unless I get an X-Pac call. But otherwise than that, I'm thoroughly impressed and happy.
Yeah, it's very tough to decipher. And right now, it should be screen sharing with you guys the roster from the actual WWE2K.com website. We have a plethora of superstars, so there should be someone in here that everybody likes, even from the lower card guys to the upper, from Aiden English, Booker T, Brian Pillman. I'm not going to go through the entire list. You guys can see it as I scroll through it here. But lots of impressive superstars, even the exclusives like Apollo Crews right here is an exclusive buy for people who get the NXT pack.
Yep.
You got legends like Andre the Giant for the 80s fans, Bret Hart, British Bulldog, and then for the Attitude Era, we have Billy Gunn right here. Just different people. Nia Jax is in, Jake the Snake, Hideo Itami, and Finn Balor if you love NXT. If you're a fan of the 2000s to 2010 period, you have Edge, Randy Orton, Shane McMahon, Ricky Steamboat, Nakamura's in the game. People should be going crazy for that. Just so many good guys in here. The Dudleys have made their return even though they just left, which is saddening to hear. This is the largest Divas roster. I'm sorry, not Divas. Oh, man. Don't hurt me, wrestling fans. I apologize. Women's roster that we've had in a long time. You have, is it over 22?
I believe so.
That's a lot of different superstars for people to choose from, especially for women's wrestling fans. I think it's at an all-time high right now for people who love women's wrestling.
Yeah, man, they are actually really stepping it up. It's kind of actually really cool. I think a lot of us in the league have sat in the chat room and we've watched the NXT takeovers and watched the NXT pay-per-views. And when, usually sometimes we look at the female superstars matches as bathroom breaks. But when you can watch Kevin Owens and Balor go at it and you put that mark for that match there, and then you watch Sasha Banks and Bayley, and you can either say it's either neck and neck or just slightly better than watching Joe I mean, Kevin Owens and Balor go at it, man. That says a lot. Sasha kills it when she gets in it. Charlotte kills it. Like the four horsewomen of NXT kills it. Not to say that Natty and Naomi and the rest of them wasn't, but it's a revolution now. Like you can even throw Nikki Bella in there, and a lot of people give her shit.
Yeah, I think that Natty is actually part of the origins of it. Natty, even Paige and Emma, like those girls aren't given enough credit for what they did in the very beginning of NXT and some of the great matches that they were having. Paige is probably one of the most overlooked female superstars that they have on that roster, and I hope that this stuff with Paige eventually comes out and that she is able to rise from this. But back to the roster, guys. I definitely was shocked by some of the picks that we got today. Let's go over some of the IGN people here. I'm going to screen share once again. The IGN roster here with everybody. So right here we can see Asuka was one of the first people revealed, which I was definitely very happy about. The link to the IGN article will be in the description as well. Bailey has also made the game, which people have been clamoring for since last year. I definitely think the Four Horsewomen should have been in last year, and I know that's a WWE call, not a 2K call. So
I'm actually shocked that they made this, because what I really thought was that 2K was going to go for the cash grab and give us like Charlotte and Sasha and Becky on disc, and then put Bailey and Asuka in like an NXT DLC pack. Honestly, that's what I thought they were going to do. But I'm ecstatic that both of those are on disc and in the game.
And no reason not to. We're also getting the Big Boss Man. Shout out to my man V.A. Raphael, because I know he's a Big Boss Man fan from the 80s.
Hard time.
Exactly. Hard times. We get Buddy Murphy. I know Nighthawk's probably the only one who cares about that, so shout outs to him. Cactus Jack is also in the game. I know that's one of your characters in the league as Mick Foley.
Yep.
So good to see the faces of Foley made it back in.
Exactly.
We got Big Daddy Cool Diesel. So, Funny Botchamania ending, if you guys haven't checked that out either with that. Diesel's in the game. I like that we got Razor Ramon and Diesel this year instead of Nash and Hall. That's cool. Yeah. Maybe those could be alternate attires. Their movesets don't really change. You got the Happiness Cat in the Land, Dude Love, made the roster. Dusty Rhodes, which I'm glad to see him make the game again with his two sons. So that's good news for Dusty. He should always get the games.
If Dusty's in, I would have loved to see the $1 Million Man or Roddy Piper back in. I mean, because
there's a couple names I think that you could note that should be in. Roddy Piper, X-Pac, $1 Million Man. There's a few, even Farouk and D-Lo. A lot of people miss those guys from last year, but you can't have everybody in as well. I get that.
True.
Maybe next year. We could always hope. We got Goldust finally being announced.
Right.
Max Flagger.
Right.
Shout out to KC Classic. Check out his football videos on YouTube. John Cena.
I was shaking in my boots like, oh my God, is Cena gonna make it in? Is Cena gonna make it in? Like, if Cena didn't, I would have went crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been surprised if we saw an alternate cover with them. We got the Big Red Machine Kane. I'm not calling him the Demon Kane. That's stupid. So Kane's in. I'm happy. The new Universal Champion, Kevin Owens.
Oh,
great ending to Raw last night with that as well.
Oh, that would have been nuts if Owens wasn't in after what happened on Raw Monday night. Ooh.
We all know that those guys are showing up. We got the total package, Lex Luger. I don't know if we're getting Lex Express or the WCW version. I don't see why we couldn't have both. That's another guy whose moveset doesn't really change. It's just his hair length.
Uncle Luke.
Luke Harper is in. Kids, do not Google Uncle Luke. Mankind makes the game. Road Dogg Jesse James. One of the surprises for this week.
Finally. That's the only person on the roster thus far that has shocked me that I'm happy about. I mean, I'm tired of seeing Billy Gunn lonely in the game. You got X-Pac in there 50 million times. You can't really have the full DX experience or the whole Click experience without, like, X-Pac and Jesse James, man. I'm like, dude, I would have loved to have New Age Outlaws in my universe last year.
I think you have to try and put all the Click, NWO, and DX in so that you can do those things with them. And hopefully that's something that Brian Williams or Brian Bork could take back to the dev team in WWE so that they know that these are the guys that we want in on a yearly basis continually. Because there are different wrestling fans from different eras that want these guys, which is it's getting harder and harder to justify this probably for money-wise, but people want these guys in.
Yeah.
The big dog, Roman Reigns, he is in the game. No shocker there. Seth Rollins finally confirmed. Glad they got his new attire in. Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Vader's back in the game. So there's hope for you, Kevin.
I think Vader is going to be like one of those, they're pushing him towards that Austin Rock HBK sort of status. Like he's just going to be one of those guys that's just going to be in there every year without a shadow of a doubt. If you know nothing else, you know that.
Yeah. Here are some screenshots of Asuka and Bayley, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins. The game's graphics definitely look a whole lot better. They're the New Age Outlaws. So definitely some positive things. Let me open that up so people can see them a little bit better one last time as we go through them. But even the facial expressions and stuff, I don't know why Asuka doesn't have boots on. Kevin brought that up before. I don't know if that's something that they were trying to fix within the game. Something I never noticed, but very odd. But Asuka's model definitely looks very on point.
True.
But Kex, while I got you here, I wanted to talk some of the other omissions. We talked before earlier, a little right before this, once they originally revealed it. What do you think of Austin Aries not making it? I mean, doesn't that cry out like kind of, hey man, you've always told us if you make it around WrestleMania time or right before, we can get you in.
Here's
no
the thing.
Aries.
I wouldn't count Aries out just yet. This is only on disc. There's still DLC. So the way that I see it, it's a cash grab. Rude is a big draw. Aries is a big draw. We know it's a season pass. We don't know who's the bait. Last year or year before last, what it was, a Page for 15?
Yeah.
So for now, here's the thing. There's 4 packs. One is a moveset. One is going to be a Legends. I'm betting the other 2 is probably NXT. But the draw of it is, who do you put as the DLC superstar? People will cry if it's not Rude. People will cry if it's not Aries. If you put Aries as the bonus, then you'll have to put the other one as the crown jewel. Because I think, 16 wasn't Joe the crown jewel of the NXT pack, Future Star?
Right. Like everyone bought it, honestly, for Samoa Joe, which is no different than you have to have the one person in the pack that's the draw. Like, I got to get it for him. The Legends packs are usually like, oh, I want all those guys. But NXT is usually, oh, I want that one guy. We were trying to go over and maybe predict some of the people in the pack. Once again, though, who do you see actually being put into the game that could? I mean, we all agree on Aries has to be in the NXT pack. We both mentioned Ty Dillinger on the phone earlier with each other. The perfect 10, someone who I can see making it in. As far as anyone else from NXT that we're missing that you could see them trying to sneak in on the roster, do you have any other names possibly?
God, what's who faced the Revival at the NXT?
Oh, Gargano and
yeah.
Ciampa.
Them 2, I could see them trying to sneak in. They've been there long enough.
But not signed. That's the weird thing with them and Eric Young and those guys. Like, they showed up on time, but they weren't signed. So you don't know how to really take that.
Well, what's his face?
Oh, Elias Sampson.
Yeah, the singing Damian Sandow, as I like to call him.
Yeah, we don't need him in the game. well, we always could use more punching bags. So yeah. But he's another possibility. I don't see like TM61 or the Authors of Pain or any of those guys coming in.
Too soon.
Bobby Roode, I feel, is a stretch too. Maybe they knew beforehand I don't know. Another thing I've seen mentioned on Twitter by other people has been the Cruiserweight Classic pack. Maybe you could put guys like Jushin Liger in, who did show up in NXT earlier in the year.
He was one of the ones I would think about.
Dean Malenko. Eddie Guerrero. I'm just saying, it all adds up. These guys can all be put in.
Now, Guerrero would be someone I would put in the Legends pack. Like Batista, Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, and X-Pac is a stretch, but definitely if you do a Legends pack, I can see them maybe tossing Eddie in. Now, what variation of them? Because there are some people that prefer Latino, there are some people prefer WCW. I mean, as long as I get Gritty in there, I'm happy.
I will speak out as Ice is usually on here when we do these. Ice and myself have said that we have been hoping for like a 2004 Eddie Guerrero for quite some time. We've had Attitude Era Eddie, or even maybe WCW Cruiserweight Eddie. There's so many different ways you could go with this, so many different packs and other different things. Legends, you can go so many different ways too, with Piper not in, the $1 Million Man. You could even go 1, 2, 3 Kid instead of X-Pac since you put in Razor and Diesel. The options are endless. But overall, though, I think that they've done a great job in how they've handled the promotion for the game. The marketing has been much better this year. And I think that we're finally starting to see 2K show us some of their best work for what they have produced this time.
Yeah,
but,
I just hope Road Dogg becomes a mainstay. Like, if you put in Billy, you got to put in Road Dogg, man. Straight up.
The peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, because, you know, for me, it's like you got Enzo and Cass. Like, one of the first things I'm going to do, I'm not going to lie, I am going to set up a tag match to see who has the best tag team entrance between New Age Outlaws and Enzo. Because when I see Enzo, all I see is a new school Road Dogg. From him doing the running man run, Jesse James should do that little funky little knee shake. So it's just like, man, I want to see if I feel like I'm actually in an arena when I see both of them do their shticks on mic.
Yeah, there's so much stuff to hope for and hope that we get to see in the games. And guys, I just want to know in the comment section below, are you happy with the roster reveal, number one? Is this good for you? Are there any complaints that you have? I know you guys know I'm against the NXT edition. I'm not a fan of how they did it this year, but I am happy that we will eventually get these guys. And hopefully that's not one of our DLC packs. Please tell me that's not one of our DLC packs, Brian Ward. I do have some other questions if we are going to get alternate attires for guys and what else is to be included. I'm glad to see we didn't get a lot of doubles this year. Super thumbs up for that, 2K. That's another big props that you deserve. And while we wrap this video up, I do want to give a plug. If you guys are looking for one of the best E-Feds on the PlayStation 4, you guys got to go to XGW. The link is in the description below. These guys have been around since 2009. I'm part of them. Cactus is part of the league as well. Lots of great guys in there. All about just having a good time, creating characters. You have to role play as your character. Not every week, but here and there. Set up storylines, matches. It's a lot of fun once you get in there. And if you have any questions, you can add Animals07 or Cactus, spelled Kaktis, on PSN, and we will answer your questions. Because 'tis the season for some WWE2K17 very soon.
I had a question, though. How long do you think before we start hearing DLC news? Because that is like a very important part of the roster.
Knowing 2K the way I do, I think that we will see it after NBA is done with their promotion because that comes out in 1 to 3 weeks. So I think we're going to start getting some of our stuff towards the end before it comes out for them. So about a month before the game drops, I think we're going to get the gameplay trailer. We're going to figure out what this, what did they call it? The backstage interviews and stuff, the interact promos. We're going to figure out what that means, what's new in my career in universe mode, what cutscenes they've added. So plenty of stuff to get into. Cactus, I got to thank you for coming on the show once again, brother. It's always good to talk some WWE2K17 with you. And folks, one last time, make sure that you RKO that like button because SmackDown is coming on tonight. Maybe I'll review it. Maybe I won't. We'll have to see if I'm going to be representing Team Blue tonight. Also, make sure you comment down below. Did you like the roster reveal this year in the marketing? And also, who do you want in DLC packs, or what packs do you see WWE2K17 having? And make sure you guys pass the word and have people subscribe to the channel.
Dave should be in the pack.
Dave Batista?
Yeah. Dave should be in.
We shall see. Folks, thank you for watching once again. We are out. Peace.
Peace.